There are many things that, when mixed together, make something good, something long-lasting. Games are no exception to this. Now, Wizard of Legend. It really does try to be a good game, it really does. You can see the love and attention that was poured into the game, but it just falls so utterly short in some soul-crushing areas. I really wanted to absolutely love this game, but there were just some things that, you know what? Let's talk about the game first, and then you'll see where I'm coming from. What is Wizard of Legend? This is a game where you play as a wizard competing in what's called the Chaos Trials. In other words, it's a magic-based, randomly generated roguelike that fits the narrative. This works quite well together. The type of game works with the plot. And you know I am a good sucker for some roguelikes. There is little plot to the game, except you start in some museum where you get expositioned all the information you ever need, but that information is mostly about game mechanics. The object of the game, of course, get to the end of the trials. Complete the trials, as far as I can tell. But I wouldn't know. That's the goal I'm on, and after 8 hours, it's the only goal I've seen so far. So let's start talking about some specifics. What makes Wizard of Legend good, and what really holds it back. This time, while talking about the form of the game, I need to mention fairness. In most roguelike games, a player's skills are tested against the difficulty of the game, divided by the items that they would get. This in turn leads to some very easy or very difficult experiences. This diversity is what makes a game fun, and out of the 3 primary dungeon crawler roguelikes that I've sunk a bunch of time into, Enter the Gungeon, Binding of Isaac, and Wizard of Legend, I can honestly say that Wizard of Legend felt like the most unfun and unfair of the 3, mostly because of its lack of this diversity. Now before you get on your high horse made of cactus and comment something about how awesome of a time you had with the game, let me clarify. This game was entertaining. It was fun, sort of. Just my opinion, not as fun as the other 2. And here's my reasoning behind that. In Binding of Isaac, you are met with an overwhelming difficulty, with the ability to overcome those obstacles with skill or with extremely lucky items. In Enter the Gungeon, items are a bonus, but they never feel entirely necessary to beat the game. Wizard of Legend, on the other hand, starts hard and gets really hard. Even if you get to know the moves of your enemies, the screen feels too close to read properly. The upgrades you get are dwarfed by the raw increase of enemy damage and speed ups, meaning that when you do collect an item, it isn't going to make you feel more powerful, it'll only catch you up with the base difficulty of the matchup. After 8 hours, I was only able to reach the 3rd boss once. I want you to take a look at this footage. The amount of overload to my tiny little brain made it nearly impossible to keep up with the attacks. Look at this first instance. This is what happens when the boss is in the first slot. Now here is the 3rd. I feel like the scaling needs just a bit of rework. Because of this iron wall difficulty, I never really felt the want to play the game anywhere past the 3-hour mark. I kept going though, because that's the show. Gotta give every game their 8 hours, right? But to no avail. I could look up guides probably to figure out what kind of combination of spells and items make the game easy mode, but frankly, unless the game is Minecraft or Path of Exile, or overly complicated in one way or another, I feel like the game shouldn't need the player to research and play optimal guides to be able to beat it. Now there were some areas in Wizard of Legend where it really shone though. These things were the core reasons why I really wanted to enjoy the game to the best of my ability. The soundtrack, while it didn't get rammed into our subconscious like Megalovania did in 2018, the soundtrack complements the game flawlessly. The composer did a very good job at building an enjoyable auditory world. The overall aesthetics are pleasing as well. Lightning attacks are quick and bright and jumpy. Fire abilities explode with passion. Rocks, they have pixels. And the water and ice attacks flowed and shattered in what I believe to be a very nice, realistic-esque feel that you would expect of water and ice. I feel like because of these things, the game really won't have an expiration date. the game will be a welcoming experience for years to come. Except, it just isn't fun. I tried so hard to enjoy this game. The environments were lovely, but the game itself just isn't fun. There's no feeling of reward presented in the game. Once you unlock all the spells, which can be done fairly fast with a few good runs, you lose interest. The difficulty started hard, and I liked this. I got used to this. And now I can complete the first couple of levels with relative ease, just from learning the mechanics of the game. However, instead of scaling up the difficulty with cool new monsters, the current ones that you've seen in the themes of Earth, Fire, or Ice just get a new dash and attack mechanic, or they teleport to you, or their attack speed scales, which to be frank isn't too fun. It's like a fake difficulty curve. Since your attack speed and your everything lags behind the raw buffs these guys get, I really wish I could show off what happens in this panel, but I can't. Because the damn mechanics of this game just speed the hell up past the point in which you can't tell up from down. And when a two-dimensional game is doing that to you, well, you might as well be playing like this. Overall, the game is still okay. A 204 out of 300 is a respectable score. It just means that there are a few things that really draw the game back for me. Art? Awesome. Sounds? Radical. Gameplay? Like riding your horse made of cactuses. Sure, you might get there, but at what ruddy cost? Thank you for watching the video, you blister-legged wonder wizard you. Make sure to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.